Let's talk about the November real estate market. Now that TRREB, or the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, has released the November market stats, we can dive into seeing what happened over the past month. If you are someone who likes the basics, someone who wants to know if the real estate market increased or if it decreased year over year, here you go. TRREB reported a decrease in average sale price year over year of 1.16 to 1.08 million, which equates to a drop of 7.2%. And then sales. The number of sales decreased from almost 9,000 to a little over 4,500 year over year, which equates to a 49% decrease in number of sales. As a guidance point, if you are reading headlines, you're probably going to read something along the lines of Toronto sales down 50%. Remember, the term sales is not the same as sale price. Sales is the number of properties sold. Prices did not drop 50% year over year. Welcome to my channel where I talk about everything real estate related in Canada with a focus on the city of Toronto. My name is Macallum and I'm the leader and manager of a 39 agent real estate team here in the city of Toronto. We specialize in residential resale, pre-construction, as well as leasing. If you gain even an ounce of value from this video, please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to be notified when I release another video. I want to be a resource for those seeking answers, and the more you interact with my videos, the better the YouTube algorithm will work for me and push this type of content to others like yourself looking to learn more about the real estate market. And finally, if you are a buyer, a tenant, a landlord, or a seller looking to chat more, you can scroll down to the description in this video where you can book a buyer consultation, listing consultation, or a general call to talk about the market. What does TRREB have to say about the November market? As written by the TRREB analyst, home ownership market activity in November continued to be influenced by the impact of higher borrowing costs on affordability. Sales were down compared to the same period last year, following the trend that unfolded since the commencement of interest rate hikes in the spring. New listings were also down substantially from last year, and at a very low level historically. The fact that the supply of homes for sale has remained low has supported average selling prices at the 1.08 to 1.09 million mark since August. This is a great point. So often we focus on new listings being the be-all and end-all of the real estate market. When we don't have listings, it's an indicator that the market is failing. However, TRREB points out that that's not necessarily the case. In fact, the lack of supply has supported prices since August. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, let's dive into each individual asset class or property type to see what has happened on a month-over-month basis. So now we'll take a look at detached properties. So the average sale price from October to November dropped 3% month over month from 1.6 to 1.56. The number of sales dropped from just under 600 down to 542, which equates to a 10% drop month over month. New listings dropped from 1,185 down to 944, which equates to a 20% drop. Active listings dropped from 1,400 down to 1,200, which is a 12% drop. Days on market. Now, days on market tends to stay relatively flat. And then we have months of inventory. Months of inventory is the number of months that it would take for all available listings to sell without new properties being brought to the market. So we've seen a consistent decline of 3 months, 2.4 months, and now we're down to 2.3 months. So right now, it would take 2.3 months for all available detached properties in the city of Toronto to sell if no new listings were brought to the market. And finally, we have sales to new listings ratio, and that's the percentage of listings which are brought to the market that end up selling. So that's just under 60%. So we can bring that number down to about 6 out of 10 listings that are brought to the market sell in that month. Moving on into the semi-detached market segment, the average sale price in October was 1.2. Now in November, we're just under 1.2, which is a 3% drop. Number of sales dropped from 201 down to 169, which is a 16% drop. New listings dropped from 333 down to 265, which equates to a 20% drop. Active listings dropped from 305 to 269, which equates to a 12% drop. Days on market did fluctuate a little bit over the past 3 months from 14, 15 to now 16 days on market. for semi-detached in the city of Toronto. Next, we have months of inventory, which we're sitting at about 1.6 months. So it would take 1.6 months for all available semi-detached listings currently to sell if no new properties were brought to the market. And finally, we have sales to new listings ratio, which we're now sitting at a little over 60%. Moving into the townhouse market segment, average sale price in October was 1.28. Now in November, it's 1.22, which equates to a 4% drop. Number of sales went from 62, and here's where we see something a little bit different. The number of sales actually increased from 62 to 67, which is a plus 8% increase. New listings went from 100, and again, something a little different here. New listings went from 100 to 128. Which is a 28% increase. Active listings went from 114 to 111. No major changes there. Days on market remained relatively flat, similar to what we've been seeing with the detached and the semi-detached market. Months of inventory, we're now sitting at about 1.7 months of inventory on the townhouse market segment. Sales to new listings ratio is hovering just over 50%, so 5 out of 10 listings that are brought to the market end up selling in the month. And finally, we have the condo market segment. Average sale price for condos in the city of Toronto went from $769 in September to $740 in October. And now we're down to $734,000, which is a 1% drop from October to November. So we're stabilizing on all 4 market segments. The number of sales went from 888 to 899. Not a lot of change there. The number of new listings which were brought to the market, which in October was just under 2,200, is now sitting in the month of November at just under 2,000. Active listings went from just over 3,000 to just under 3,000 in the month of November. The months of inventory is now sitting at about 3.3%, which has decreased about 0.2% from September and October to November. And finally, we have the sales to new listings ratio, which we're now sitting at about 45%. Over the past few months, we have seen stabilization of sale prices across all market segments. We have also seen a decrease in the number of new listings which are being brought to the market. As we've discussed, the number of new listings generally drops towards the end of the year, and we can expect the number to drop even further in December. A lot of conversations I've been having with potential sellers over the past month or so since seeing prices stabilize have been geared towards waiting to see if prices will begin to increase, mainly stemmed from this stabilization. When the Bank of Canada does not increase rates following a meeting, will that be the sign for buyers who were waiting on the sidelines to get back out there and purchase up that limited supply? Maybe, maybe not. Only time will tell. But if you're looking for the valley, this might be it. If you found this video helpful and informative, please hit the like button and consider subscribing.